Welcome, everybody. Have a seat. We made it. Can you believe it? It's the end of week one, and we have saved the biggest show for last. J-Lo is in the house. This is going to be so much fun today. She sold 70 million records. Her movies have made $1.4 billion worldwide, and she has the most successful celebrity fragrance line in the world. Not too shabby. And now she's on her own, starting over after her divorce and proving that this former fly girl can still soar.
You can dress like her, smell like her, drive like her, even shave your legs like Jennifer Lopez. It seems like everywhere you turn these days, there's J-Lo. Forbes magazine recently crowned the red-hot megastar the most powerful celebrity of the year, knocking Lady Gaga out of the top spot. Thanks in large part to a stunning career reincarnation that began 2 years ago when she became a judge on American Idol. During that stint, Lopez released her first album in 4 years called Love with a question mark. Ironically, that came the same year she split with her husband, singer-songwriter Mark Anthony. But the album worked, and everyone wanted to get out on the floor with J-Lo. A hit that shot to #1 in 18 countries and became the most downloaded song of her career. On the floor. Now the 43-year-old superstar is embarking this month on her first ever world tour with choreographer and boyfriend Casper Smart and her 4-year-old twins Max and Emmy at her side in a show that tells the story of her life. Whether she's on tour or off, it's Jennifer's role as a single mom that always takes center stage.
Welcome to our show, Jennifer Lopez. So cute. You have got a lot of fans here in the studio. They are so... You look beautiful. Nice kicks, by the way.
By the way, can't wait to take them off.
Really?
They hurt so bad.
Well, they're beautiful.
But I did it for you.
Well, I appreciate it. You know, everybody I know has said these days you look, well, first of all, you've always been a beautiful person, but you look particularly radiant these days, that you seem like you're really happy in a really good place. Is that true?
It is true. It is true. It's just, I don't know, something happens when you get older and you're in your 40s. It's just... you feel more yourself. You've learned a lot. You've been through a lot of experiences. And I don't know, you just get more comfortable with who you are. You get to know yourself. And that's a beautiful thing.
And this summer, I know you have been very busy. I think you were the biggest multitasker I have ever met.
I am a little bit.
You've got your fingers into so many different exciting projects. But this summer, you were on tour.
Yeah.
You went to a lot of different cities. I actually had the pleasure of seeing you in Newark. And
it was to the show.
It was so exciting. I was such a nerd. I was like right up there taking all these pictures with my iPhone. In fact, we have some shots I took of you, by the way. I think they're pretty good. And if I'm not mistaken, you looked at me during one song, didn't you?
I'm sure I did. I'm sure I did.
But you're starting a world tour, right? At the end of this month, you're going to, what, 23 cities or something?
God.
Is that, or
you know
36
what?
even, I don't know.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot of cities. We're going to go to Europe and Asia and Australia. I'll be gone from probably next week till December 23rd.
Wow.
Yeah. It's a long, trust me, I'm worried about it. I'm like, oh my God. But the tour in South America and here in the States went so great. And I remember getting to the end of it, like, you know, we did our last 2 shows in Miami, and I was like, wow, this went really good. I feel good. when I got home after the second show, I got so sick. I was just down for the count, antibiotics, the whole thing.
Really?
Yeah, I think you're just going on adrenaline and you're enjoying it. And for me, it was first time like really presenting my music to my fans and putting together a show that I was really proud of. And I was just, it was great for me. I didn't feel tired. I didn't feel anything. But the minute I stopped, tired.
That
down.
happens. And you know, I mean, I'm not surprised you got sick. When you performed in Brazil, it was during a torrential downpour.
That was
and
so
I thought,
awesome.
wow, that must have looked actually really cool. But that must have been miserable, was it? Or, I mean, did you feel like you were in Flashdance or something?
Yeah, it was. By the way, it just started raining harder and harder and harder. I was like, you know, they always advise you. They're like, look, it's going to be dangerous out there. It's going to be slippery. Maybe you shouldn't do the show. Well, and I was like, it was our last show in Brazil. We're heading back to the States after that. And I was like, no. I said, they're standing out there in the rain. I said, I got to go out there. So I started doing the show. And I'm like, okay, I can do this. And they're like, don't go down to the B stage. So I go, you know. I go down to the B stage.
Rebel, you.
And then they, you know, the crowd gets you going. And the people in Brazil were so, I don't know, welcoming. And they were jumping up and down. I was like, I can't. I wound up doing like the whole show. And it just kept raining and raining. At one point in that actual clip, when I had the red dress on, I remember I was walking around singing this ballad that I do where my kids are on the screen and everything. And I was like, I'm going to get so sick. I hope I don't. And I didn't. It was great.
And it's a little dangerous to have a wet stage and be walking around.
And the dancers out there, I have like 10 dancers and stuff, and they were like, you know, everybody's saying, be careful, don't go too hard, you know, just, you know, give a good show, do what you can. But at the end of the day, it was one of my best memories from tour so far. I mean, it was just an amazing night.
You mentioned your kids being the photos of your kids, and I know this concert tour is very personal. It's kind of like the story of your life. Why did you want to kind of put it all out there?
I know. I just want to, their heads.
They are so cute.
Yeah. You know, when I was putting the show together, I was thinking to myself, you know, what did I want? You know, you have your songs and you know the songs that you have to do, the ones that people love, the ones that were hits and stuff like that. And so you start thinking, I can configure this any way I want. You know, what story do I want to tell? And I don't know, I just felt like it's my responsibility to my fans to be honest. You know what I mean? In a sense. And the tour and doing my own show, I can do it in a way where I get to tell the story. I get to say how I feel.
Plus
and they get to hear it from me.
They're so devoted to you, and I think they can't get enough of you. It's great for you to be so generous.
Yeah.
With your personal life, because that can't be
easy. It was a safe place to do that. Right. You know what I mean? Because it's not somebody interpreting what I say or writing about it.
Or a critic or something.
No, it's just, this is it. You know, I start with this like big Hollywood glamorous thing. I think that's how people kind of want an extravaganza in a show. But then the very next section is like the Jenny from the Block section. This is who you think I am, but this is who I really am.
Right,
you know what I mean? And then we go from there into the love and to my kids, which are, you know, I just felt my music is very personal.
Right.
You know, so I can't help but do that when I do the show.
Are the twins traveling around with you?
Yes.
I mean, you take them pretty much wherever you go, right? And so is that hard? I mean, you must feel so torn, right? Like, oh my God, I have to do this. And
they're with me.
Yeah.
And I think that's the most important thing. They've handled it really well. They're traveling babies, you know, and they love...
They have a lot of frequent flyer miles.
They have. It's crazy, but they love their little bunks on the bus. They had a little DVD, but you know what I mean? So they knew the routine. They were like, we're going to the venue, Mommy? You know, and I'm like, yeah, we're going to the venue. And they go, and they had their little scooters, and they go up and down the hallway. It's a big, you know, that's all they need is like a big hallway to play in. And they don't, you know, and then they would see me do the show, and they knew the songs, and... It's crazy. Now it's great. I mean, I couldn't imagine doing it and leaving them for months, and I just couldn't. I wouldn't do it.
Having said that, they do spend time with their dad, Mark Anthony.
Yes, they're with him they were with him last night. Yeah.
And I know divorce is tough. But yeah. How are you guys doing in terms of your relationship?
We're doing good. We're doing good, and we're proud of that. We're proud of how we've kind of handled this. It was a really tough decision to make. And one that in your heart, you just, you know, is always going to just affect you. You know, you never want to break up a family. That wasn't my dream. My dream was for us to always be together. But things don't work out, and and you feel like it's the better choice. Or if I didn't feel it was the better choice, then I wouldn't have done it, you know. But we're doing good with it, you know. We love our kids, and we have love for each other, you know, and we always will. And we're friends. We were friends before, and we're friends now.
Which is
Thank God
great.
that didn't change.
That's nice. And,
Yeah.
and what about, I know you've been married 3 times.
Yes.
Would you ever get...
I keep trying.
Just kind of tried to sneak that in there.
It's okay. It's true.
Yeah.
You know, I believe in love. I believe in marriage. I believe in that. And I'm going to try. You know, I'm just trying to get it right. I'm just like anybody else.
Do you think people can live happily ever after, though? You know.
I do still. I know that's hard to believe that I actually do. And I'm willing to work for that. You know what I mean?
You've been in a relationship with your choreographer,
Yes.
Casper Smart, who I understand likes to be called Bo, but you call him. Do you call him Bear?
I call him Bo.
You call him Bo?
No, Bear, I just because he is like a bit of a bear.
Yeah. What was it about him that caught your eye? I mean, I think it's kind of obvious, but I thought I'd ask.
Honestly, he's a very smart and outgoing person, you know, and it was, I don't know, we just kind of hit it off. Wasn't something I was looking for, trust me, at all. But, you know, things happen, and they happen naturally. That's the best thing,
And,
you know?
yeah, and I know that you said you don't like bad boys. You like the good guys.
Well,
you like nice
I did used to
people.
like the bad boys. But now I realize that's not like a winning formula. You know?
Yeah.
It takes time to get there, you know. Okay,
Yeah.
we do these things as well. You know, we're just trying to, like I said, just trying to get it right, just like everybody else.
This is a sensitive area for me because been there, done that. But he is 18 years younger. And well, how do you feel about the age difference? I mean,
It's hard for me to think of my age. Do you know what I mean? Because I don't feel any different than when I first started. You know? Very youthful. I feel very youthful, and I feel very comfortable in my own skin. And it's funny, until somebody brings it up, I don't think we really think about it. I do, in the sense that, you know, I'm always thinking about what's right and all that kind of stuff. But at the same time, you know, we just 2 people who have similar interests and love a lot of the same things and who get along.
He's 25, right?
Yes.
Can you imagine, like, hey guys, he's out with his friends having a beer.
He doesn't drink. Like
okay,
me.
a Coca-Cola or whatever.
He's having a soda pop.
He's having a soda pop, and he's like, yo, dudes, I'm dating Jennifer Lopez. I mean, that must be
weird.
A pretty heady experience for him, right? Talk about street cred.
Well, you know what? You know when you're young, you don't really think about things like things are like kind of, you just go through them, and then you look back later and you go, what the? Did that happen? You know? Yeah.
Well,
Like,
for
he
the
handles
record-
it really well, is what I'm saying. You
And
know,
he's really
it's not an
cute.
easy position to be in either for either of us sometimes. But,
Right.
you know, we're enjoying each other's company, and he's a great support system, and he's great at what he does.
So talented, right?
And I feel really lucky that he came into my life at this time, and we got to do this thing together. Like, I don't feel the show would have been as good if he wasn't involved, you know, because he was a real kind of creative partner with me in it.
He did an amazing job.
Yeah, it's
just as
awesome.
someone who was there. Up next, we're going to talk with you about why you left American Idol and how it feels to be named Forbes' most powerful celebrity in the world.